Nanook next.
Yeah. Uh, Speaking of otherizing movies made about Asian people in some respect, um, we've got Nanook of the North.
Yeah, very famous movie. The second most famous movie of this year, I would
Yeah.
say.
And if it weren't for SpongeBob, maybe the most famous.
I don't know about that. Yeah, this is often credited as the first feature documentary. Which I guess it kind of is. I mean, how you define documentary is arguable, you know.
Yeah.
Um, but I do think this movie distinguishes itself from like actuality films that existed right away, like of just footage of things happening. I feel like
Right.
this is a movie that is like trying to build a real narrative out of mostly staged scenes.
Yeah,
but
maybe
like
trying a little too hard to build a narrative.
maybe trying a little too hard to build a narrative, but it is, the attempt of sort of taking footage of real people in places and creating a narrative out of that into a film, I think is part of what I consider a documentary. So
the way that I
sure.
characterize Robert Flaherty's, who's the director, Robert Flaherty's approach to documentary is almost like a Disneyland version of a certain culture, an Epcot version. You know, it's trying to take like large elements. It's trying to take like a huge culture and like typify it and distill it down to these iconic things. An igloo, hunting for a walrus, you know.
Yeah.
He has another movie called Man from Iran, not Iran, but Aran, which is a island off of Ireland, I believe, where there's some sort of like semi-primitive people who live there, and he has like a similar approach where he's just like, what are the things that you do? Now we're going to have you do all of those things for the camera, you know?
Yeah. This movie is about primarily a single person living in Canada. Or sort of Inuit community in Canada.
Upper Canada.
Yeah. And the sort of main central figure of this movie is, in the movie, is a hunter named Nanook. He was not actually named Nanook.
Yeah. His real name is Alakarialuk.
Yes. Thank you for saying that so I don't have to try to butcher it. And yeah, the general depiction of Inuit life and culture is pretty misrepresented. Like, he's definitely trying to show off sort of like how primitive they are, which in most cases just wasn't true. In like 1922, they like had guns and like modern technology. They knew what movies were.
They
were just
what phonographs were. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a scene with Nanook like seeing a phonograph for the first time and like biting the disc because he thinks it's like a food or something.
Yeah, and like being astonished by it. It's like he knew what phonographs were. Yeah, there's a lot of talk about like the simple Eskimo, and it's like I don't know if this is the best. I mean, I don't know if it's coming from the best place. I guess I feel like Robert Flaherty is overemphasizing the sort of like seemingly primitive nature of this like community, and it's like most of it isn't true.
I mean, I think it's well intentioned, right? Like he lived in this area for a while. The people who he did abandon some of these people when he moved on to film other things. But like the people who are Nanook's wives in the movie were Flaherty's wives.
Mm-hmm.
Like he had wives and children in this community, and like he respected them a lot, but he still otherized them. and he
Yeah.
still was making them consumable for a white audience.
Yeah.
There's a documentary about Nanook of the North, or not even about, but just kind of involving, called Nanook Revisited, which was filmed in the 80s, in the same area where Nanook was filmed. So Nanook Revisited is doing what Nanook of the North was kind of intending to do, which is show these people in their like actual surroundings and treating them with respect, right?
Yeah.
So it's showing like daily life in the 80s in this part of the country of Canada, and it is also asking people their thoughts on Nanook. And some people who were children at the time that it was being filmed are like relaying anecdotes about Flaherty and the filming of the movie. One of them, I think this gets at Flaherty's intentions a lot. One of the people who knew Flaherty when he was a kid, and is now an old man, kind of paraphrases him, and he said that Flaherty was saying, "I'm not trying to shoot a film on what the whites made of these people. I'm not interested in the decay of these people. I wanted to show their primitive majesty and their originality as long as it is still possible before the whites destroy not only their character but these people themselves."
Right. The movie Nanook of the North, I think, sets out to show Inuit culture like pre-colonization.
Even though
which
that
is
was
why
kind of
it's
a fiction already.
Right. But it also, like, the movie doesn't frame it that way. Right. The movie never says that, and I think that's where it sort of
it's like dishonest in a way.
Goes wrong. Yeah, is that it is right, the dishonesty of it. But yeah, I mean that's a I guess the intention is there for something positive, even if it doesn't really. I don't really think it achieves that. But.
It's a fun movie. It's an interesting movie. It's not like you're not learning stuff, but you have to take everything that you're seeing with a grain of salt.
Yeah, yeah. And yeah, it's like a lot of. I think the kind of misrepresentation I have more of a that like bothers me more, I guess, than this movie also gets sort of dragged a lot for how much of it is just staged, which is like, well, that's whatever. Like, they never shot inside an igloo because it was too dark and the camera was too big. So there's these sort of staged scenes where they like built a half wall of an igloo to make it look like they're inside one. It's like, I'm fine with that. I don't care, you know?
There's a part where they're like hunting for a seal, and he didn't want to wait around for a seal to show up, so they just like had a seal. they had someone pulling a rope from the other side of a hole in the ground.
Yeah. There's a walrus hunt, which walrus is referred to as the tiger of the north, which is pretty great.
And he sounds his battle cry, uck uck.
And yeah, there's a bunch of cute husky puppies in this movie, which anytime cute dogs are in movies, I'm a sucker for that. Yeah, I mean, this movie is very interesting, even if it's not necessarily good, question mark.
I would say maybe it's not morally good, but I enjoy watching it.
Oh yeah, I mean, movie. I'd seen this before. I enjoyed rewatching it because it is like I think some of like the actuality films that we watched early on. Like it's cool just to see really old footage of people in places.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
This might have been the first silent film that I saw with a live score. I guess I'm realizing that I saw like a Chaplin when I was a kid with a live score, but as an adult, I saw this in Edinburgh with a live score.
Fancy that.
Because when I go to a new city, I make a beeline for their indie theaters. And I felt really bad because I had seen this already, and I was jet lagged, and so I fell asleep for parts of the movie, which seems disrespectful when people are playing live music. But I did my best.
There you go. Yeah, Nanook of the North, I mean, a pretty landmark movie in terms of its approach to like filmmaking and trying to use real life subjects and kind of portray those on film in a way that isn't flatly scripted fictional narrative stuff.
And if we're talking about like famous silent films, this is definitely in the top 10.
Yeah. Speaking of Nanook, was it Nanook Revisited?
I believe so, yes.
There is one of my favorite episodes of Documentary Now is a parody of specifically that 80s documentary, and I think it's called Canuck Uncovered.
Yeah.
And it's very good.
It's I like how his name is Canuck.
Yeah. And in that documentary now, it's like it's actually, he has a different name. It's like they take the thing of misrepresenting people really far, and sort of things being staged.
And it's interesting that Documentary Now episode is almost like this like reclaiming of power for these like people who are being misrepresented in the movie, because it ends up with Canuck like becoming this like tyrant director of the movie itself,
and like inventing a bunch of cinematic techniques and things like that.
Yeah.
Anyone else? Yeah.